Good morning, Priestnall. Welcome to this year's Holocaust Memorial Day Assembly. This assembly has been put together for you by three of our history ambassadors, Sonia, Iris, and Anya. So, what was the Holocaust? The Holocaust was the systematic state-sponsored killing of 6 million Jews and other minority communities by the Nazi leaders and their cohorts during World War II. Throughout all of World War II, the Nazis destroyed two-thirds of the Jewish population. The main way they did this was by sending Jews to concentration camps. Concentration camps were political prisons filled with thousands of innocent people kept in horrific conditions. So, what is Holocaust Memorial Day? Holocaust Memorial Day takes place every year on the 27th of January. It takes place on this day as the 27th of January marks the anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz-Birkenau, the largest Nazi death camp. The Holocaust Memorial Day Trust encourages remembrance of the 6 million people killed under Nazi persecution. They also use this day to remember those that lost their lives in genocides that followed in Cambodia, Rwanda, Bosnia, and Darfur, to name a few. The theme for this year's Holocaust Memorial Day is Be the Light in the Darkness. These quotes come from the Holocaust Memorial Day Trust website. They say, amid the darkness of genocide, there have always been those who oppose the regime, risking their own lives, homes, and communities. Maintaining faith and culture during genocide defies the ambitions of regimes to eradicate entire groups and their cultures. Survivors emphasize that any kindness when surrounded by suffering, indifference, and persecution is powerful. For the international community, there is a responsibility to shine a light on situations where people are persecuted and hold those responsible to account. So, what were the Polish ghettos? The German conquest of Poland in autumn 1939 brought 3 million Jews under Nazi control. Polish Jews were confined to ghettos and camps in terrible conditions, where thousands died of starvation and disease. The largest ghetto was in Warsaw, in the Polish capital, where almost 500,000 Jews were cramped. Ghettos were places in Poland and other areas of Nazi-occupied Europe where Jews and other Untermensch were forced into by the Nazis during World War II. Untermensch is a Nazi word meaning those that were non-Aryan. Found in major cities or large towns, the most infamous ghettos in Poland were found in Warsaw, Lodz, and Białystok. The Warsaw Ghetto, established on October 12, 1940, was the largest ghetto. In the summer of 1942, at least 254,000 were imprisoned there, and at its height, as many as 460,000 Jews were imprisoned in the Warsaw Ghetto, with an average of 9.2 people per room, barely subsisting on insufficient food rations. The total death toll among the prisoners of the ghetto is estimated to be at least 300,000, killed by bullet or gas, combined with 92,000 victims of starvation and related diseases. Despite grave hardships, life in the Warsaw Ghetto did have some educational and cultural activities, both legal and those conducted by its underground organisations. Hospitals, public soup kitchens, orphanages, refugee centres, and recreation facilities were formed, as well as a school system. There, more than 350,000 Jews, which was about 30% of Warsaw's total population, were eventually confined in about 2.4% of the city's total area. So, what was the final solution? On the 20th of January 1942, a conference was held in the Wannsee suburb of Berlin. At this meeting, it was agreed that all Jews under German occupation would be brought to Poland, where those fit enough would be worked to death and the rest simply exterminated. This led to the horror of the Nazi death camps, 6 of which were built specifically to murder those brought to them. The biggest and most notorious camp was Auschwitz-Birkenau, where 2.5 million Jews were murdered. Jews arrived at the camps on trains where they were separated into two groups. The first group was those fit enough to work, and those to be killed immediately was the second group. In that second group was usually women, children, and the elderly. The latter group were ushered into what was thought were showers, where they were gassed to death using pellets of cyanide known as Zyklon B. Auschwitz also had a huge forced labour camp attached to it, called Auschwitz Monowitz or Auschwitz III. Here, many Jews and other groups who had not been sent immediately to the gas chambers would have worked in horrific conditions in a variety of factories. Where they became too weak to work, they would then be sent to the gas chambers. As Russian forces advanced towards Auschwitz towards the end of the war, the Nazis tried to cover up and destroy the gas chambers and crematoria. Over 60,000 prisoners were marched west from Auschwitz towards Germany in what became known as the Death Marches. So, who else was affected by the Holocaust? On top of all the horrific concentration camps towards the Jewish community, there were many other communities who were a target of the Holocaust. For example, there were Romani gypsies, the LGBTQ plus community, people with disabilities, those with religions other than Protestant Christianity, and other non white races, as well as many Soviet citizens. Although these were not as afflicted by Nazis as the Jewish community, they still went through difficult times. As many people know about the struggles of the Jewish community during the Holocaust, not a lot of people know about other communities who were also affected, and it deserves to be known. This image is of Romani gypsies being gathered by Nazis to go to a concentration camp. Thank you for listening to today's assembly. If you'd like some more information on this, please visit www.hmd.org.uk to see the official Holocaust Memorial Day website. Thank you.